Good morning and welcome to another edition of Roadhouse Live. We are live. Today is May 9th, 2023. We're coming into the market today with what appears to be, correct me if I'm wrong, what might actually be a red candle. What say you, Bender, about said red candle?
It is a mirage.
It's
a figment of your imagination.
You know, I think you might be right, because I think that there's still a very strong desire to buy whatever dip is available. At least what I've been sitting here watching level 2, it's like the monkeys are still over here buying, buy. We're not moving up. Yesterday was interesting. I swear, Bender, on my existence, all day yesterday when I'm sitting there watching level 2, just watching selling all day long, that never came to any type of legitimate fruition. All day long, I thought I was watching selling. So now we're coming into a day ahead of a big CPI print, both domestically and in Europe, on the heels of China slowdown. The hang was down, I think, 2.5%. Their exports are dwindling, falling, all that kind of stuff, however you want to kind of hone in and look at it. But it was not a good day for them in China. So we're walking into the day with data being kind of not a whole lot of it until tomorrow. And we have a couple of Fed speakers to go off today. So that's in our environment. That's where we're at. For the most part, if you say the word AI, your ticker is going to the moon, no stops. AI, moon. If there's even
Did you hear Wendy's?
What they
So Wendy's said they're experimenting with using AI chatbot in the drive-through,
which is good. I think it's good. Well, I think they should. It's like you're talking about eliminating jobs. It's like, and it's not just the job. You eliminate the job. You eliminate the sick day. You eliminate the employment tax that you have to pay. You get to eliminate the Social Security contributions. You eliminate all the benefits associated. You eliminate so much by getting rid of these people that just are trying to live their lives. But here's what's interesting. You know, even with all that being said, I think the one thing in this ER season, I'm glad you brought that up, Bender, that we're seeing more and more of, we're seeing pressure on margin. Have you noticed that? You keep on hearing, well, margins are kind of under pressure. Margin is margin. How are they going to squeeze more margin? And then you had Tyson Food last night basically say that we can't squeeze any more out of the people. They've moved on. I don't know what the fuck they're eating, but it's like they're not selling as much chicken, beef, and whatnots.
That's the expensive stuff.
So then what are you eating?
Hot dogs? I don't know.
Well, I like a good hot dog. I'm not going to lie. But it's like we're starting to see that, like, to where, and I don't know, if we go back to, not this last summer, but I think it was the summer before, it's like when they were talking about how inflation is transitory. I said something that I got, kind of kicked in the head with a lot of people, was like, inflation can only be transitory if corporations pass that margin back onto the consumer. And so they did the exact opposite of that. They kept on bleeding out the consumer over and over again until there's nothing left to bleed out. And we see this with the rising credit card debt. We see this all the way up and down the board, as far as like, hey, still have jobs, but the discretionary income isn't there like it used to be. The ability to be like, yeah, no, I'm going to have chicken no matter what, or a nice steak no matter what. I don't know. And on top of all of this, is very anecdotal. We were able to get eggs for 99 cents a dozen at the grocery store this weekend. So
that seems cheap.
It's very cheap. So it would appear that these corporations, they're quick to shift. They're like, hey,
are you sure those eggs were from chickens?
They look like chicken eggs to me. They taste like chicken
99 cents.
99 cents a dozen. Yeah, no. The lady looked at me and I was like, buy all of them. She was like, you're so stupid. We're not going to eat all these eggs. I was like, this is 99 cents.
Buy all of them.
I would have bought all of them.
I don't know if I would trust an egg that's not like 99 cents a dozen.
I'm telling you, dude, we sat there and
I
we looked at
question
each
what I was
other.
getting.
I've already eaten some and I'm still here. It's like everything's good. Tastes like egg. Totally tastes like an egg.
Maybe
It
he's
could
gonna
taste
give
like an
birth
egg
to
and look.
something.
It could taste like an egg and look like an egg, but
Then it's a fucking egg. That's what it is.
It's an egg. I just don't. Yeah, I don't
Where
know
is
if
it
I taste
from?
All right. Yeah,
It's an
exactly.
egg. It's an egg. Anyways, so we're starting to see like different like little pressures come on and come off, come on, come off. It seems like right now the only thing that is, I don't want to say the only thing, but the hottest thing going is anything AI related. If you say AI, have AI in your business model, whatever it may be, it's like, man, you are gold. You are gold, gold, gold. AMD is surging again this morning. Last I looked. I don't know. It's kind of hard to look at this move on AMD and some of the flow that's pushing out to not say that this sucker is going to be well over 100 here sooner rather than later. The way they're pushing. We have NVIDIA ER in a couple of weeks. They're not necessarily, we have what? NVIDIA was 52-week high yesterday. Why would that change? We've sold down just enough to where they can make a run at that level that they tried to break overnight. If they want to resend it to the upside, sure. But we do have CPI tomorrow. We do have debt ceiling hanging over our head, which ultimately will be resolved. The question is when and what damage is done along the way. So now we get to come back and we get to play games with levels. Bender, do you like games with levels?
I love games with levels.
So we get games with levels.
I really only like games with levels when the levels change. I don't want to play the same level over and over again. That's too reminiscent of like Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't think, but based on yesterday's price action, I don't think anybody cares what you think or want. I think that's really what the bottom. Nobody cares. Yesterday was one of the most dreadful days for price action I can remember in a long while. It was better during leading up, waiting for Fed days. Yesterday was just disgusting as far as price action. And so now, once again, we're coming into a day where we have a little bit of dip. Now the question is are they going to give us more dreadful price action, just wibble wobbling in a maybe $1.50 range on SPY? Or that's if we're lucky. Is it a 50-cent range? Do we go up and do we fill the overnight? It's like, what do we do? Did Brad, Chad, and Thad get left with his call sitting up at top and we have to go save his ass? Or it's like, no, they're finally like, fuck Brad, Chad, and Thad. We're going to go ahead and do a little dip. I know based on my overall, and then everybody knows I'm an expert chartist, like expert, like expert, like mass expert. I'm kind of looking at this and I'm looking at the NASDAQ more so than anything. But when I look at the NASDAQ, I'm thinking ultimately we may have, I don't know, maybe about 30 more points down from here before it grabs a level and decides to shred. It's like maybe another 30 points down on the NASDAQ before it grabs a level and repushes. So ultimately coming into the day, and this is where Bender is just absolutely exceptional. Let's see what he has. Let's see if it matches up with my expert charting. What you got?
I mean, your charting is pretty solid, but let's start with what I've got on the screen right now. And I'll share this in Discord as well for those of you that aren't watching the stream. But I mean, right here, the 4-hour chart, right? And we can see from those highs, just over 4,200 at May 1st, down to the 4063 low, April, or was it May 4th? You can see the midpoint of that comes in right here where we're at, 4135. So we kind of been talking about that. The shaded box above being the area that is currently acting as resistance, which is inside of this. And you can see it on a 1-hour chart too, but kind of inside of this candle here that's currently acting as resistance. And all this down below that you can see, pretty clearly on the 4-hour, that was very one way, just green candle up, 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 right? And came right back into this previous resistance. I think the 1 hour here, just clean look, shows what we're dealing with, what we're looking at. Hells, you can kind of see the makings of something in here, I'm sure.
What is it?
You tell
me. What is it?
I'm going to go to a 15-minute chart here. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to go to a 15-minute chart here. Zoomed in just a bit. And, you know, that 40-48 level right up in here. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to share this. Here you go. Put that to Discord there. That 40-48 level, you know, we've been watching up above, currently trading 41.36. I've got the pre-market low here, line there, 41.34. Below that, you can see this 15-minute candle right in here. That's if we find ourselves below 41.22 or really pre-market low, we could make our way, start heading down towards this area in here and fill in that 15-minute candle. That starts at 41.22.25 down to 41.14.5. And I think, you know, below that, then we're kind of looking 4,100 test of 4,100 and see what we do with that. Below that, you know, you've got some levels in here you could look at, but ultimately, you know, the big set of stops sits down here, 40.62.5. As far as the upside is concerned, you know, if maybe we take the pre-market low and reverse. I don't know exactly what how the morning plays out, but if we do find ourselves pushing to the upside, first level we got to look for is this 41.42.5. You can see this candle here, this 15-minute candle of everything that we left behind on this move early this morning, 4 a.m. Eastern. So, you know,
I'm sorry, did we really leave it behind? Because we left a lot of shit behind, you know, on those two, this absolutely fucking ridiculous verticality over there on the left-hand side on your far left.
That's old shit.
That's old shit. So it doesn't matter. It's just like,
that's old shit. No, this is what matters right now.
This is just fucking hocus pocus. It's hocus pocus.
Just hocus pocus, but it always works. The levels always play. It's like, hocus pocus.
We left some people behind that we didn't leave people. It's like motherfuckers just still going back to the buffet. It's like that's why everybody.
Well, we can pass them 3 times and they're still standing there.
Just fat as fuck.
Nope. Sorry. Anyway, you can see this, you know, this 40.41, 40.42 right in here that has, you know, clearly been support. It was resistance previously. Let's see if that acts as resistance again. If we push our way up into this candle, I'll be watching to see if we can get through this and it becomes support above 40.42. Cool. Then we're probably looking at 41.53. Sorry if I said 40.42. I meant 41.42. But if we clear that, use it as support, then we're probably looking at this 41.53 and then up to 41.61. And then from there, it's a party.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Yeah. It's a party. So look, it's like and I think that's funny. It's like Freeman said, we close at 41.48 again. Just to make it just to make it good times.
Yeah.
But that's again, we do have some data coming out tomorrow that's fairly important, both domestically and over in Europe. And we'll see what other kind of deputy dog headlines come out today during the trading day. Let's see who else is going to come up with some AI. I don't know. Let's see who else got some AI that they're thinking about. I guess we'll see. So, Sonny, what you got for us, man?
Morning, everyone. Start with the usual, the upgrades. SHLS, they had earnings. So they're up about 20% this morning. The other one would be Square. SQ, their price target has been updated to 91. They had a couple of days ago and pretty much consolidated and sold off for a little bit. On the downgrades, PayPal, again, they had yesterday, sold off on it. I think PayPal is down about 8%. And Shopify, double downgrade from Atlantic Equities and DZ Bank. Never heard of this DZ Bank thing, but Atlantic Equities I have. So definitely something to watch.
Yeah, that move on Shop has been really remarkable. But let's not forget, it was like a $1 billion stock, 2
Yep.
years ago.
Yeah, and it had a high short interest, so a lot went into that to squeeze it up too. Well, we were talking about Shopify. So Amazon, being the same sector, Amazon is now offering you $10 to some Prime members to go pick up your package from the store. One way to try to cut cost. But I think it's a smart move. You go pick up from Whole Foods, you buy groceries, and you spend more, and you go. It's pretty slick on their part to offer that.
I think it's slick, but I don't. But that's not what Amazon is. Amazon is I order something, I get it in 38 seconds.
Exactly.
That's not what Amazon is. It's like that's that
Yeah.
they're basically saying we're going to be Target 5 years ago, and I don't know that plays real well.
Not only that, I mean, you pay $150 in Prime, and then you have to go pick up your package. So
yeah,
I'll give you $10 for it.
Yeah, it's like that's it's like it, but it would appear that a lot of companies are kind of forgetting what actually made them what they are.
Yeah.
Like Netflix being one, Amazon obviously being the other. It's like you're getting away from the model that actually made you the company that you are.
Exactly. And they have a lot more heat from like Walmart, Target, and things like that. Same day delivery. And also, doing the price match. Anything you see on Amazon, you can price match it at the local store and get it.
Yeah.
If you the type that can just go pick it up in an hour, just drive down the street and pick it up.
Yeah.
We do that.
It's like what's the no, I don't understand. That's great. Cool. Okay.
Next one, they were talking about the airline tickets yesterday. I caught this where they're talking about like how since Feb, airline tickets have gone up by 27% straight month of, double-digit gains every month. They keep talking about, how airlines are talking about how they're doing so well, etc. They are doing so well based on the prices of the tickets, not because of the level of travelers that has gone up. It's still a little bit below the 2019 level. I'll post the link in the room. You can check the TSA website. It gives you a pretty good idea about it.
And anecdotally, I agree with that. I was pricing airline tickets last night going like, are you fucking crazy?
Yep.
And there's not even as many flight options.
Exactly. So they've cut down their routes, increased the prices. They keep saying we are over capacity. Well, of course.
Oh, organized chaos.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Goldman Sachs has partnered up with Microsoft to launch a new blockchain network that they'll be testing out. I'm going to keep an eye on it. That could be interesting to see what they come up with. Boeing, news this morning, they did get the order from Ryanair. It's worth $40 billion. Boeing was up 2.5% this morning. Could be playable. On the ER side, Lucid, they shit the bed with their ER. I'm watching Rivian and Carvana. Carvana ran up a whole bit. They got 15 calls coming in a month out. Definitely something that can squeeze up, but any stall in the market, I think that'll be a good short.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, one last thing. Microsoft did cut jobs in the LinkedIn department, but those are mostly covering the people that were working on the app that was China focused. So it's not overall global job cuts. That's it.
Okay. Very good. Stonkington, paging Stonkington.
Hello. What's up?
Hi, Stonkington.
Good morning. Let's do this. Share content. Roadhouse 2.0. Let's give it a whirl. There we go. All right, let's look at the NQ. Cool. This is pretty cool. All right, so here's the 4 hour. Let's see. So I guess we can kind of focus on order blocks because we're sitting here on this green line right here. So this one, this was, this was kind of like an Al Brooks lesson where he says that any reversal in the market is going to be a 2-bar reversal on some other time frame. So when I think about that, it's like, okay, that makes sense. So like, here's a 2-bar reversal, but if you're looking at like a shorter term time frame chart, there's going to be more candles there. So I kind of think of that when I look at these Mr. T order blocks. So on a 1 hour, you can see these guys. Mr. T might think of these guys as an order block because then we popped up off that. So that's why I found this little line here that we're coming down to. So I'd want to see us hold it above that if we're going to push up. If not, if we're going to go down, we can see here on the 4 hour, that Friday's price action, that's just like all fair value gap stuff that we may need to fill in. So we'll see what we get up there. And then similarly, we can just see this is that line that I posted yesterday. You can see where we started to sell off. So we can just see the importance. And I believe that one's got some order block action to it here. You can see where we were pushing up in that. Up there, order block for a push down. So if we're going to go up, I'll be, we got this fair value. And then we're still in this megaphone that we were talking about yesterday. So let's see. Swap over to the Russell. I'm going to be continuing to watch this because it's like all those banks, if the banks are going to be good to go, and if you look at this chart setup, let's see. So this looks like a bullish falling channel here. This trend line, it keeps rejecting. You can see how it goes all the way back up to there. But let's see. So fair value gaps. So we've got this one smaller one above. And then if we're going to push down, we have all this room that for this to fill in all the way down to that 736.3. So I'm going to be watching the Russell over there as well. It just looks like a bullish consolidation. And if the narrative is banks are good to go, I think that was the quote from Yellen the other day, was like, yeah, we'll just keep using these same methodologies to make sure the banks are good. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds bullish enough to me. So we'll see what the Russell's going to do.
So the plan is
the other ones I was going to watch is going to be NVIDIA. So let's blow this one up. So it's got this kind of rising channel look to it. Basically using yesterday's high, see if we can pop that to continue to the upside. And then below, I'd be watching this 287.70. And you can see it's had some reactions already to that line. And flow was kind of mixed. It was like giving us some pretty decent ideas yesterday. And then we had that nice little bull flag that played out. So we'll see what we get on NVIDIA. And then the other one I want to keep an eye on today is going to be Apple. So Apple, we had this 173.57 dark pool that came in on Friday, and then they hit it again last night at 173.50. So there's a lot of money sitting right up here. And then we're dropping below this other one that came in on Friday at 172.65. So we need to get back up and through there. If we're going to go up below, I'll be watching this fib I had down here at this 171.40 area. So that's what I'll be looking for on Apple. And I think that is all I have for today.
So, Stonk, wait, how do you feel that like Apple Flow was looking? Yeah, my mic isn't working.
I can hear you. Stonkington, can you not hear Hells? Stonkington?
We can't hear you either. Oh.
Donkey can't hear anyone.
Anybody?
Did I fuck up?
Did I come through?
Donkey, you'll have to repeat all
Stonkington
that.
broke something.
So okay, let's finish this off real quick. The flow that I saw that was the most interesting to me, we saw some SPY 410 puts for Wednesday, no 412 puts for Wednesday. Those are going to open up nicely. There's a decent amount of money into those, and then SPY 410 puts for Friday. decent amount of money. Not as if I saw a whole lot of, let's say, 415 calls on SPY, anything along those lines throughout the end of the week. So looking at those calls and what they're doing should be interesting. Yesterday, we also, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong here, we also did not see a whole lot of intraday SPX flow. There wasn't a whole lot of it like we're accustomed to seeing, that, little breadcrumb tossers. They really weren't active. It's like yesterday was really one of those days where there's just kind of like, we really don't care. We're here so we don't get fined. And then we come into today and we got what appears to be, once again, a red candle. So we'll see how it shakes out. I feel pretty confident as far as being able to watch flow and kind of figure out what's going on and what's going to happen next. I think that that's something that we can do. Risk off. And I say this kind of tongue in cheek, risk off going into CPI data, which means they could sell us down here a little bit more and then ultimately try to cover us in the afternoon going into the print. So that's what I have. Bender, anything else? Stonkington, Sunny, anything?
Nothing additional.
I'm good.
All right, very good. So we have, 13 minutes till open? 13 minutes till open?
13 minutes.
Let's break it down mentally. Let's get ready. Let's get prepared, and let's have a good day. See you soon.
And feel.